think the real takeaway from this race is that Niki Lauda was still getting ass towards his later years. What's up, guys? It's the Game Bro coming back to you. Wrapping up the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, wrapping up the 2022 season, and holy fuck am I hungover from last night. This sucks. But it was a race. It happened. We're not going to talk too much about it, maybe more the season as a whole, because Max walked away with this race. Charles, great race, actually. I think that was the best race they could have hoped for today. Get P2 in the drivers. Ferrari keeps P2 in the constructors. Mercedes didn't really have the pace we expected, and Max ran off with the race. Sergio couldn't make up anything at the end. Seb's last race, Daniel's last race. Who else had their last race today? Latifi had his last race. Schumacher crashed into Latifi. But that was really it. 2022 as a whole, can you look at it as a great year? I don't know. Definitely not one of the better championships we've had, especially after last year. But in the way of close racing, I do think it was a vast improvement over what we saw over the last couple of years. Cars could follow. Guys were racing the entire time, Tire management, not as bad as some years. But Max and Red Bull just walked away with it. They hit the ground running with the new rules and regulations this year. Ferrari started out the year great, won some races. We thought Charles was going to battle for the championship, but just piss poor fucking strategy did him in. I would love to go back and look and see potential points on offer there. It would have been a lot tighter if there were some certain issues that didn't happen through the year. But either way, Max was going to win the title this year. That car was awesome. Straight line speed, very efficient car on the straights. I don't know if it was down to the engine. I still think that, just the aero stuff and what's his name? God, I'm fucked up still. Man, I can't even think of it. The aero dude for Red Bull. It's that bad right now, I'm telling you. I think the Ferrari power unit was great. When you look at it as a whole, the step they made from last year, vastly, just the last 2 years, Ferrari have improved from where they were. Definitely not in the strategy side. We're still seeing just piss poor fucking strategy by them guys. I mean, I really hope Binotto just gets fucking sacked this year. You could put anyone in his place. But either way, we look at the year as a whole, it's an improvement. Going into next year, you got to imagine Red Bull is going to pick up where they left off. A couple others probably improve. I think the biggest thing, obviously, not even an elephant in the room, is Mercedes struggles this year. I still remember when that car came out in the second round of testing and you saw that, you're like, holy fuck. How do they keep thinking of this stuff? How do they keep just coming up with stuff? Every year, they are just a machine. And to watch that car in the first race just fucking suck, I was stunned. And the fact that it took them this long in the season, when everyone else probably stopped developing the car, for them to kind of just get on top of it a little bit too late. It was just a huge surprise. I think the fuel change this year probably also caught them off guard with the power units, because all the teams that ran the Mercedes power unit seemed to struggle a little bit in the straight line, other than Williams, who had a car that probably had no wing compared to everyone else. But either way, 2022 as a whole, Max just ran away with it, broke records, set records, probably records that only he might break. But, records are meant to be broken. We said that about Hamilton. Who knows what will happen? We said that about Schumacher. Look what happened there. More celebration about, I would say, Sebastian's career here. Ricciardo, since 2018, has fallen flat on his face with poor career moves and just has not had it when it comes to racecraft, qualifying, or being on the top in the top team in F1. And the other thing I think about it is, guys just are so convinced that they need to be on the grid. They could be in the worst fucking car. Please, sign me to Williams. I don't want to go race anywhere else. How demoralizing it must be to just be in the worst car on the grid, and you want that, rather than go somewhere else like IndyCar, endurance racing, anything, to be competitive. Wouldn't you rather race for wins in another series than say, oh man, I scored a point this year. That's awesome. Fuck that. Vettel's career, really a tale of two careers when you think about it. After he leaves Red Bull, goes to Ferrari, and you look at that stint, there were a lot of positives, but ultimately it was a failure. He did not deliver for them. The team could have done a little bit better too, but you got to look at it this way. In 2018, I feel like that was theirs for the taking. 2017 was close. That was a good stepping stone, but 18 was just, it came undone there. And I think that for Vettel, it came undone. That was where he realized that, hey, this isn't going to happen. 19, with all the issues that car had and ups and downs. That was really where the strategy aspect just unraveled for Ferrari. But when you look back on it, 4 straight titles, tons over 50 wins, fast laps, pole positions, just dominance when Seb was on. You look back to that first race that he won at Monza with Toro Rosso. I still remember that wet weather performance, qualifying, all that was just amazing. And you're like, man, this guy is going to be somebody. And hell, I mean, 2009, if it weren't for that double-decker diffuser, who knows? He could have had another one. Either way, awesome career by Seb. He's really changed F1 for the better. And props to him, he's out to change the world. I like that. When you think back, when you look at what he's trying to do, his focus isn't so much on the racing, it's more as a whole. And you got to love that. So really, this isn't so much a look back on this season, this race, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but kind of a celebration of Seb's career and, a couple of the other guys. It's nice to see the donuts after the race, but really excited to see what he does with the next stage of his life. I don't think it's going to be so much in motorsport. I think he's going to do a lot of other things to, just change the world. He always had that mindset, and I love that about him. It was great to root for him. He was my driver for, 6 years, or most of those 6 years. A lot of heartbreak, a lot of love, but, that's what happens. You live and die as a Ferrari fan. 2007 was a long time ago. So with that, we look forward to 2023. I can't wait to see, car unveils, testing, and the first race of the year. It's going to be a long year next year. We got another, couple races, more American races. You damn well know I can't afford to go to those races. Most of the population can't. But it's going to be a great year next year. We're going to do it all over again. I hope you guys have a great winter, great holidays, great off season, and we'll see you next year. I've been the Game Bro, and I am out.